Hi everyone, I'm here with the new moon in Pisces report. As ever, I probably will be rustling my papers, so please let me off for that. And so the new moon this year is on the 2nd of March 2022. It is at 9:35 a.m. PST. It is at 5:35 p.m. UK time and at 12:35 p.m. EST. So Pisces is a very emotional moon, okay, because the emotionality of the water sign that comes up quite a lot with Pisces. It's gonna bring in, even if it hasn't done now already, it will bring in something at some point. There will be some kind of emotional shift happening. Something will come up, or you'll feel as if you're stifling something. If you're in the height of something quite heady, you may not notice this energy, or your emotions might become more accelerated or accentuated right now because of the emotionality of the Pisces. I remember the Piscean sign also, as well as it being a water sign and being really tapped into that emotionality aspect, it's also really spiritual. It really connects us to a higher mind, right? So, we're looking at things like the energy of it is kind of very high level in the energy of that spiritual aspect, in that kind of knowing aspect, and it's a moon as well, so that's kind of the element of kind of illusory concept around it. Now, the thing I want to point out, and this is in the chart, is there's quite a lot of masculine energy which can feel quite oppressive against the softness of the Piscean energy, right, with its emotionality. And I know I have been saying it a lot in the reports, yet it is coming up. We do need to remember to take back our power, okay? We do need to be reflective, internally reflective, and trust in ourselves, right? This is really coming up here, okay? It's about kind of thinking of strength and power. I kind of liken it to the Hindu goddess Kali Ma. I call her Ma because that's what they say, it's Kali Ma, right? And Kali is that strong energy. She's not bad, right? But she is fierce. And it's about taking that fierceness and that strength, right? And bringing that back through for yourself, right? Because the message for the last few weeks, I guess, and over the last few months, and also the angels' message as well, has been, what are we required to do now? What do we want to do now, right? It's been, how are we being directed in our lives? Now, this is bringing us towards that manifestation, because Pisces is, like I say, it's a very spiritual, psychic sign. And because it's very spiritual and psychic, and though the watery signs are amazing at manifestation, they don't always manifest the greatest things because they allow that watery element to undercut them. Be careful of that in this energy, okay? If you allow your emotionality to get the better of you, you'll miss opportunities and the goodness that can be available, because we become a little bit judgy, and we can be a little bit judgy under that wateriness of the moon, but in that kind of very overly emotional, sensitive way, okay? So be careful of that, right? What else? Okay, so it's about stepping into understanding our part to play. This is where we're at, okay? That is what's going on, okay? And that's something to really, really look at and to be really aware of in this new moon. Also remember, as ever, all new moons are an intention setting space, okay? We, on the new moon, on the day of the new moon, which is, like I said, the 2nd of March 2022, so the Wednesday, give yourself time to pause and reflect on what you want to bring in for the month, what you want to bring in for the period, okay? And give yourself a few days, a couple of days, just to get that into understanding and know what it is, and then bring that out, right? But always give yourself that little bit of pause before jumping straight in, because the energy from the full moon waning going into the new moon has to kind of peak a little bit before we actually make those and take those steps and make those actions, okay? So what else have we got? There is actually a quintile between the planets, and there's 7 of these, okay? And this kind of brings us to this idea of a human conscious shift, a kind of world consciousness shift, okay? And it's about how we're going to manifest by using our own creativity. So it asks us about that. It asks us to look at that. As I already said, with the element of the Pisces, because the watery emotional element, it links to that creativity and that open source energy, but in that more sort of arts kind of way, in that more sort of gentle kind of way, not that sort of logical analytical way, right? Okay, so that's something to be thinking about. This is a time to sort of tap into your something bigger, your thing, where you're meant to be going, what you're meant to be doing, expressing that in a higher mind, but through that emotional feeling center that brings through more creativity, more love, more gentleness, more play with that, and more open-mindedness to look at anything from every perspective, that kind of thinking. Okay, so that's kind of what it's asking you. Now, the sun and moon are conjunct Jupiter, which kind of opens up an energy to dream bigger, so to allow yourself to dream. Look, no one's saying you have to step into all your dreams, but here is my best advice, I suppose, for this, my best kind of thing that I would say. Let yourself dream and really bring those dreams into fruition, into thought process, and then analyze which ones, because you can be a bit analytical, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of analysis, right? And then ask yourself which one feels the best for you to move into, which one feels the most profound, which one's going to give you something and help you to move forward, right? Because that's going to be the ticket here, that's going to help you, right? Okay, and also there's going to be stuff about truth and freedom that's still playing out. This stuff about truth and freedom is still playing out, it's still happening. Find your way, and move into calm this year. Allow this March, because it's like the beginning of the year in the celestial calendar and in the sort of astrological calendar and stuff. Allow your year to start now in a clean, fresh way. Allow yourself to move into a very calm energy regardless of what's going on, because it will really help you, especially with this Piscean moon, because it has that emotionality, right? So also I want to kind of just bring back to some notice like global meditation. I'm thinking of doing the love one. I will be putting it out on Eventbrite hopefully this week. What I'll do is I'll put the link in the notes. If you'd like to come to it, it's free. All you need to do is come. You don't even have to come to it actually at the time, because what I'm going to do is, if you sign up for it, you will get the link for the replay for a few, I think it's about for 4 or 5 days you'll get it for. So you can just do it, and then you can add to that collective human consciousness drive to higher energy and higher frequency. It will bring you energy frequency and help to activate your heart, and it also helps activate the human earth energy, heart energy with Gaia. So that's what we're going to be doing together. If you're willing to come, I'd love for you to come. Do come if you can. All right, so yeah, have a little look out for that, as I say. Now remember with Pisces that your dreams are going to connect you to a higher consciousness energy, because as I said, it's this very, very spiritual star sign, and it's a very high level star sign. So it's going to connect you to a deeper, higher universal frequency, so you can tap into a higher aspect, something that is a little bit beyond your usual thinking. It's going to expand you if you allow it to, okay? Because we do tend to live within this dense energy field on Earth in a kind of contraction. So this is about really expanding ourselves and opening ourselves up to new understanding, new thinking, okay? Now, this is also about allowing the messengers to come through. Just allow it to come through. Just allow your knowledge to be open to what's being said to you, and trust in your own ability to recognize what's good for you and what isn't good for you right now. It is so crucial to step into that. Yeah, crucial. It will really help you. Okay, there is a Mercury conjunct Saturn, which all of this is there's still a little bit of that energy of like the truth, the oppression, suppression, the not being allowed to say what we mean or what we think, or there's still people kind of like trying to edit what we're saying, kind of stop people from saying certain things. So be aware of that. Just be aware of that. At the end of the day, we can only move to where we're going to go to by going through what is broken and understanding it. So this is kind of what this energy is. The bits that are a little bit more negative, the energy of cleaning up house, as I spoke about this before, that whole cleaning up house and kind of regulating ourselves, regulating the human consciousness as a whole in a kind of global way, right? So, we've also got, and this is kind of really interesting, we've got a triple conjunction with Venus, Mars and Pluto, and it's on 27 degrees. Now, do you remember in the last report I spoke about 27 degrees and what the number alluded to, okay, right, at 9, yeah? The number 9, which is a kind of completion number. It's coming up to completing things, clearing things, and that's in Capricorn, of Capricorn. There's going to be more endings, more, let's put it this way, it's going to be more of an understanding. We're going to start to see what's happening. We're going to start to be aware of what's going on. And this awareness is going to help us to move forward in a much better way, in a much clearer way, right? So, yeah, and you know, the ending's going to bring us a new beginning. This is the thing with endings. People go, oh, it's an ending. But endings bring new beginnings. They bring a new start, a new fresh perspective, maybe. And because of that real emotionality, spirituality and enlightenment of the Piscean energy, that's what's being promised here in some ways, if we allow ourselves to fuse and play with that energy field, right? Because you can do it. You can step into that pure energy system. It's just guiding yourself into that and trusting yourself with regard to that. Mars is happy at the moment, and it's kind of going to have quite a lot of strength. It does depend possibly on what house it falls in on your chart, and you could look that up online. There are lots of different tools available online where you can look up where your houses are, okay? There may be some power play with regard to decisions, and I think that's globally, in countries and even individually, that may come up, okay? Let me see what else we've got. We've got some energy happening, which is going to link to that Pluto return that I spoke about in the last report. But as I said to you, that's the US Pluto return. As I said to you, and I think this links back to the whole Independence Day and all the stuff with America. It really links back to the historical element around that. Now, when you think about that and look into that, that's going to take some time. So it's just to be aware of it, to be aware of what's going on, all right? Because it will help. What the understanding of it will help you to understand what's going on. Because a lot of the things that are happening can seem a little bit overwhelming, yet they're happening in order to change things. Nothing can change unless it's been broken down and then rebuilt in some ways again. That's kind of where we're at. As I say, and I've said before in my reports, this is cumulative. I had a question a little while back actually from someone, and they said, but you know, these reports say this is happening and this is happening, it hasn't happened. It isn't going to happen in a month. Lovelies. It really isn't. It won't happen in 1 month. What it does is it builds upon itself. The changes start to build upon itself. Think about your own life. Think about when you discovered something about yourself. It didn't just happen. You didn't just go, oh, I get that. No, it took time and it took a building block to bring you that information. So that's what this is. The planetary aspects and what's going on and how it's affecting us emotionally is the way that we can change and create more cohesion and more love and more togetherness by understanding that the opportunity presented in the planetary aspects gives us the chance to do things in a better way. So that's what it is, and it's cumulative. The more we change and shift, the more that pattern can shift. Because it's like anything, if we don't shift, we just stay stuck behind that wall, so to speak. Okay, so let me see if there's anything else on this little bit. I don't think so. I'm going to go into the other part of it right now. So, you know, because of that spread of emotionality, it's for all of us at this point now also to look at what's ended and what's going to begin. So it's about in your life looking at what's ended, look at what's going to begin, all right? Look at what's kind of coming up for you in that respect. You know, what do you need to weed out in your life to move to where you want to go, okay? You know, it's even if you have to, because of the emotionality of Pisces, I do want to point something out. You might feel really, really, really like teary or angry, because that can bring that kind of emotion up. irritable. This is to allow it to come up. You've got to cry, you've got to cry, you've got to punch a pillow, you've got to punch a pillow, okay? Obviously safety here, we're not hurting anyone or hurting ourselves. This is about expressing it in a way that we can release it. This is really important actually, and this is really good having this energy, the emotionality of Pisces, because Pisces will open the gates to allowing you to let it go. Think of it as a floodgate. You're opening it up and it's going to go, and it's going to start to link with other things. You're going to start to see more, and you're not going to be holding on to it in such a strong, like overly tightly way. You're going to be able to see what can come from the change that you can make within your life, right? So what else have we got? So it is kind of time also to let this stuff go. And I know, like, I'm going to put my hand on my heart here because I've had to do it too, right? I was holding on to quite a lot of my past, and I had to realize that if you hold on to it, you just stay stuck. You stay stuck in the old energy field. So this is about allowing the watery element to wash it all away, to clear it all up, clear the decks, start fresh, okay? Step into forgiveness. Forgiveness is really going to help here. And into calling out anything that doesn't work, and also calling all parts of yourself back, okay? Yeah, I'm getting that. So even if you just light a candle, which I'd really advise to do today, for the 2nd of March, so I might put this out a bit earlier. So yeah, light the candle and just say, I call all parts of myself back to myself, and just let them all come back in, because we leave parts of ourselves everywhere when we go out into the world, and then we come back and we feel drained because we've left little bits of ourselves with other people. They drain that energy. And also maybe some cord cutting might help too. Cord cutting is very simple. You can either do it like this. You can just say, I cut all cords from me and anyone who I've been in contact with. So you can literally do it like this. Just use your hand as the thing that's cord cutting along here, because we tend to pick the cords up all in this section of our body and our backs as well. So you can cut the cord back as well. Or you can call upon the Archangel Micheal. Archangel Micheal will use his sword, and he will cut away any connection you have made to other people that are not serving you in the highest good. Be aware that we do this all the time. There's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't make you bad or anything. It's just one of those things. We all do it, and it's a natural thing. It happens every day. So it's just to be a little bit more aware and to make sure you do that cord cutting, and that can really help with this energy as well. So, it's a great time now to manifest the beautiful life that you want. As with what I said, I think in the full moon, this is about grounding. Ground your energy. Ground your spiritual connection. Get yourself connected, right? What's guiding you? What's guiding you? Find that. Okay. Right, now, this is about being careful as well. So, if you're giving away too much of yourself, you're being a people pleaser, you're playing superhuman, are you doing too much, that needs to stop. Just stop. Just pause it for a while, if nothing else, okay? And then come back and look at what you were doing, and to really take stock of that, all right? Now, and it also, you may feel that you've been drowning in just a heap of things that you've been having to do. If you have been, this is the time to come up for air. Allow yourself to come up for air. Let go of anything that doesn't serve you, so that you can flow in life, as opposed to being resistant in life, okay? Now, there is like a dark energy that can be prevalent in Pisces, which is that kind of woe me thing. So be really aware of that, and be really careful of that as well. Or that kind of watery element where you kind of get a little bit overly emotional. That's over emotionality. So be careful of that sensitivity. So this dark moon might bring up all the emotions that are being dormant, all the emotions that you haven't dealt with that are being dormant, okay? Now let it move you from this darkness into the light. Let this help you to reflect, okay, because it's really important. Have you lost your way? I just asked the question, am I lost? Am I lost? Am I following a direction that is just not working for me? Have I lost my way? Do I need to recalibrate this? There's nothing wrong with recalibrating. It's a really good time to recalibrate as well. With that spiritual element of the Piscean energy will bring you more answers. okay? And you know, you'll get back in, you know, if hang on, this is about getting back into your key focus. Sorry about that, because I don't know what I've written. I told you, I don't know if I told you, I wrote in a really, really bad colour, so that's probably why I can't read it. Also, it's about trusting. So you might want to journal some questions out. You might want to grab a paper and pen and write out. It's a really good time to write out what's going on, and to kind of really to hash out all your realities, your pains, the things that are happening for you, and ask the moon goddess to take you from that darkness and show you the way, show you the light. Yeah, ask the moon goddess to do that for you, because and when you light that candle, you can do it then. So ask the moon goddess to show you the light, show you the way that's going to be right for you. Okay, we are also moving into a deep social shift, because we're moving into the air signs, more collaboration, more communion, more people together. There's still a lot of highlighting of our people, our frequency. Okay, there's going to be some very dreamy days where we've got these opportunities to make more and do and create more. Okay, so kind of tap into those. They come up the week, not next week, so it'll be the week after. Okay, so 2 weeks after the new moon. So in that week, tap into that kind of creation element, this ability to find things and to make things and do it that way. Okay, and allow this moon to lend itself to allowing you to express yourself in different ways. Yeah, so let this new moon help you to set all your goals, to plan, to conceive, and then you can set it all into motion. Just remember, right, as I say, to give it a few days before you go off and do that, and just remember to really get into that and to allow this beautiful, gentle Pisces, because it is a gentle energy. Pisces is such a beautiful energy, and it's so aware and it's so open. Just allow it to give you that knowledge and that space to come out swinging and happy and feeling really good. So just allow that. Anyway, darlings, thank you so much for watching. Namaste. Do take care of yourselves, and I will be back soon. Lots of love. Mwah. Bye. Bye. Take care. Bye. Lots of love.